Hi there, and welcome to Magician's Advice Recommends. Today we not only have a really special thing that's been sent in to us, but we're also going to do a giveaway. Yeah, a giveaway, it's great. There'll be details for how to take part in this giveaway and how to win one of the things that we're sharing with you today at the end of this video. So check it out at the very end and find out how you can win one of these. Today I'm really excited to share with you something that had sent in to me from Richard Young over at Changing Cards. Now, you might know Richard Young from the Magicians podcast. There was an amazing podcast that Richard put out about 3 or 4 years ago now, just before our podcast started. Well, Richard is part of Young and Strange and is now got the rights to create these changing cards. And mine says sample on there because he sent me a sample for it. Changing cards, what are they? Well, it used to be a changing card by Bob Swaddling. Richard Young now is the sole rights holder. It's got all the details on the back there, and the website for them is changingcards.com. Richard was kind enough to send me 3 different variations of the changing card print, and I've had a go with them. I put them out on my social media because I think they look really good, and I would like to hopefully put those on the screen here somewhere now for you while I talk about them. So there's 3 types that Richard sent to me. There was the one that changes from a blank card into a face and a back. So it starts off blank and then it changes so it has a face and a back. The second one is a card that has one face on it and then it changes to a different face and then it changes to a third face, and the third face has a back on it as well. That's a single card. And then the last set was one called Lucky Lady. And in the Lucky Lady set, you produce a full house in the suit that you get. So for me, it was in the clubs. You start off with a 9 and a 10, then they turn into the Jack and the Queen, and then they turn into the King and the Ace. Really good principle, and I think Richard credits that to, or says it was on the Paul Daniels show at some point. Let's look at this in more detail. If you buy a changing card, what are you going to get? You're going to get the changing card that you choose. So this one here is a blank card that turns into a 6 of hearts. If you choose that one, that's the one you get. If you choose this one is I think it's the 6 that turns into the 8, and then the 8 that turns into the 6, which turns into the 4. So you get that one. Or if you choose the Lucky Lady set, you get the 9 that turns into the 10, and the Jack that turns into the Queen, and then it turns into the King and turns into the Ace. As well as blank cards that turn into normal cards, he also does blank cards that turn into blank cards. I know what you're thinking, why on earth would you have a blank card that turns into a blank card? Well, the idea is if you are a mentalist and you want to have something written on your card, so you can have something written on one side, something written on the back, then as your card changes, it changes so you've now got something different written on both sides. You could have it so that changes twice, or appears to change twice, or you could have it so, and this is probably how I'd use it, so one side says something on there, let's say the word prediction, the other side has a word, let's say the word umbrella, so the prediction is umbrella, and then when they choose something, it's not that, it's a different item, let's say rubber duck, you throw the card in the air, you catch it, and now it's changed, so it says prediction still, so they don't think it's changed. But the other side, it doesn't say umbrella anymore, it says rubber duck. So your prediction can change in midair right in front of their eyes. Let's look at the best bits. In the Changing Cards tutorial, you're going to get the history of the cards. So you're going to know where the idea comes from and how Richard Young has ended up with the rights to produce this and the background for that. I think it's really good that's been included. It's good to know where everything's coming from and that everything's above board. The cards themselves are very well made. I've seen a lot of cards of this sort and I've seen some homemade ones by different people. These ones are made really, really well. Another best bit, they're going to last you a long time. Another best bit, the angles are almost surroundable, depending on which one you get. If you go for the card that is blank on both sides and then turns into a face and a back, then you can do that surrounded. You have people all around you, they can see that the card's blank on both sides. All you need to cover the mechanics of it is that much of your fingers, and then people can't see what's happening. And then the action in midair is too fast for the eye to see. So you can do that surrounded. If you're doing one where you're being a bit more sneaky with the card, let's say the Lucky Lady routine, where you've got the 9, the 10, into the Jack and the Queen, into the Ace and the King, you can't do that one surrounded. You've got to have that so the audience is in front of you and they can only see the front of those cards. At the end, they could all stand around you and they could look at both sides of the cards. That would be fine. But at the start, you only want them to see the front of the cards. I can't say much more. I hope I'm not leaving you hanging there too much, but I can't say much more on that. Yeah, they need to be in front of you for the Lucky Lady routine. Another great thing, they're actually really cheap. For one of these specially made cards, in whichever pattern or design you like, they're only £25. And if you wanted, you could get 3 different ones for £60 at the moment. I don't know how long that offer's going to be on there, so check that out quick. But there's going to be, you can get 3 at the moment for £60. You can have 3 of the same, you can have 3 different ones, it's up to you. Those cards can be customizable as well. So not only are the routines that I've shown you on here, you could also have it so the back changes from blue to red, and you could use that in a deck change. It won't change the whole deck for you, but you could use it in a deck change. You can have it customized to whichever card you like. So if you drop Richard a message and say, I bought this from you, but I want you to do it in this card and this card instead, or aces to kings, queens to jacks, whatever you want, he'll be able to do it in that for you. If you really want to be extra, go the extra mile, you could go to somewhere like Print by Magic, get your own cards printed, and then send those off to Richard and he can put those into this effect for you. So you can really customize this to whatever you want. The worst bits. Can it be examined? No. No. You don't want anyone examining it beforehand or afterwards. You want to keep this card to yourself. You can hold it and show it quite cleanly. You can display it around. People can look at it from a distance, but you don't want to give that card to anyone. It doesn't feel like a normal card, and when they hold it, it's not going to look like a normal card to them as well. So don't give it away. From this sort of distance, it looks fine. Up close from here, it looks fine. But if someone was to actually have that and try and figure it out, they would be able to figure it out. So yeah, don't go giving it to anybody. It would be easy enough to do a top change to ring in that card and to ring it out again at the end. Just have your deck with you or your deck on the table, and you could do that. That would be easy enough to sort out. So it's not a hard gimmick to bring into play and out if you want to make it an examinable routine, but you're not going to give that gimmick out to anyone. Keep it to yourself. Another thing worth noting is when you practice, you've got to practice throwing it up in the air and catching it, which sounds easy. I've been catching things all my life. I can juggle with 3 and 4 balls, I can do that. As you throw it up in the air, the card does what it needs to do, and that means that the flight path isn't straight up and straight down, as you'd expect something to be. So you're going to need to practice catching it. Just get used to how it moves in the air and get used to catching it. There's different versions shown on the trailer, throwing from hand to hand. There's versions throwing it up in the air. I like the idea of if you were to throw it under your arm and catch it, then that looks as if it changes as it goes underneath your arm. Little things like that. But yeah, just practice catching the thing and you'll be fine. Who's it for? This would be useful for you if you're doing a parlour show. You could do it on stage, especially if you had some video cameras on you to get the projection on there. You could do it on stage. You could do it close up and walk around. I probably wouldn't, but you could definitely get away with it and walk around. If you were doing walk around, you need to do that change to get a real genuine card rung in or rung out at the end. Of course, it looks great for Facebook and social media and Instagram. At the start, I mentioned a giveaway. Here's what we're going to do. Now, Richard Young was very kind to send me these. He sent me 3 different ones, and I do love them. But I think it's probably a bit generous to give me 3, because I'm not going to have a use for all 3 sets. I've put them on my social media, which I've loved, but I can't honestly keep all 3 and say I'm going to use them. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give away 1 of them, maybe 2. Maybe 1, maybe 2, we'll see. I'm definitely going to keep 1 for myself, but I want you to choose between you which one you want. So here's what we're going to do. If you would like any of these routines, any of these changing card gimmicks, I want you to click subscribe on the subscribe bar, and I want you to write down which one you want. And then we're going to go through at the end, pick somebody at random, and when we pick somebody at random, we'll have a look at which one they asked for, and that'll get shipped out to that person. We'll definitely give away 1. We might give away 2, and I'm definitely going to keep 1 for myself. I don't know which one I'm going to keep yet. It depends on your comments and which one that gets won and gets sent out to one of you. So yeah, comment down below. Do you want the blank card one, the blank card that turns into a normal spot card. For that, comment blank card, click subscribe, comment blank card. Do you want the one that changes from a 4 to a 6 to an 8? If you want that one, put 468, click subscribe, comment that down below, and then if your name gets pulled out, you'll be sent that one across. If you want the Lucky Lady gimmick, which goes 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace, if you want that one, comment Lucky Lady and click subscribe. We're going to choose a viewer at random, and then we'll have a look at which one it was. So if that person was Lucky Lady, then we'll send Lucky Lady out to them. If that person was the blank card, we'll send that out, and so on. And I'll put the winner, we'll make it till, let's go till Friday. Keep your eye on this video. We'll put the comment at the top of this video. We'll reach out to you and we'll get it sent across to you. Our last competition, we sent out a deck of cards over to Vietnam, I think, and we sent out, I want to say, a fragment gimmick to the Netherlands. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, they both got to their respective places. Thank you everyone who took part in the last ones, and let's see which one I'm going to be sending out this time. Just to wrap it up for today, please hit the subscribe button and please hit the bell icon. While you're doing that, you might as well comment which one of these Changing Cards by Richard Young you'd like to win. Check out our merchandise, links below. Check out our Patreon page, links below. And if you want to buy us a coffee, the Magician's Advice team, then there's links for that as well below. Really thankful to Richard for sending this in for us to share with you. If you've got any magic, any books or any tricks you'd like us to share, send them on in and we'd happily share them with our community and let you know what we think as well. That's all from the Magician's Advice today. Catch you again soon. Bye-bye.